Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you ever thought a single cent couldn't change your life, then you've clearly never heard of the 1970 1-cent coin that stunned collectors, historians, and the entire numismatic world with a jaw-dropping value of $338 million. A face value explosion that transformed a humble Lincoln penny into a legendary artifact of unimaginable financial and historical worth. And what makes this coin such a sensation isn't just its age or copper content, but the fascinating web of errors, anomalies, minting quirks, and the surrounding mystery that has sent its value skyrocketing far beyond what anyone would have believed possible for a piece of pocket change minted over half a century ago. So let's unravel the enigma and dive deep into the rich, layered story behind this extraordinary coin that's become a grail item for collectors and a headline stealer across the globe, beginning with its place in history during a time of great transformation in American coinage, as 1970 was a year of political change, economic tension, and technological transition, and within that chaos, the Denver Mint quietly produced a series of Lincoln Memorial cents, each expected to be identical to the rest, yet somehow, somewhere along the line, a small batch emerged unlike any other. And among these was a coin struck not on the standard 95% copper planchet but on a leftover 1941 Canadian 1-cent blank, a bronze composition that was slightly thinner and bore minute differences in metal composition and weight, an error nearly impossible to detect by the naked eye but which, under professional examination, revealed a deviation that would launch the coin into numismatic infamy. But the anomalies didn't stop there, because in addition to its foreign planchet, the 1970 Lincoln cent also exhibited doubling in its design elements, with the date, mint mark, and even portions of Lincoln's profile appearing as doubled images under magnification, a sign of either a double die or mechanical doubling during striking, both of which are prized and sought after for their rarity and collectability. And adding to the uniqueness was an off-center strike that placed the coin's imagery significantly askew, combined with partial collar errors that created an unusual, misshapen rim giving the coin a distorted, otherworldly appearance, as if it were half-melted or compressed during minting, drawing yet more interest from error coin specialists and investors alike. And beyond physical errors, there's an even more tantalizing layer of intrigue surrounding the 1970 cent. The idea that some of these coins may have been intentionally struck as test pieces or by rogue mint employees experimenting with foreign planchets and dies, a theory that while unproven, has only fueled demand and curiosity, particularly as very few authenticated examples have ever surfaced on the open market, and those that have, typically through estate sales or private collections, have fetched astronomical prices at auction, drawing millionaires, museum representatives, and global coin dealers into fierce bidding wars that drive the price higher with each appearance. And what's particularly incredible is that this coin doesn't look that different from any ordinary penny to the untrained eye, meaning it could be sitting in someone's change jar, tucked away in an attic, or lost in an old drawer, a sleeping giant of wealth hiding in plain sight. And stories have even circulated of individuals discovering this coin in unsearched rolls from banks or old collections inherited from family members, instantly turning ordinary people into millionaires thanks to the power of one misstruck cent. And with only a tiny handful of verified 1970 error cents in circulation, demand has remained ferociously high for decades, bolstered by YouTube coin hunters, Reddit forums, TikTok discoveries, and numismatic influencers who all seek to spread the gospel of the rare penny that shattered records. And what's more, the provenance and authenticity of these coins are confirmed only by the most trusted grading services like PCGS and NGC, who assign grades like MS67 or higher when the coin shows exceptional quality despite the errors, with red designation for full copper luster adding even more to its already meteoric value. And beyond all this lies the historical aura the coin carries, symbolizing an era where the mint was transitioning processes, working through equipment inconsistencies, and sometimes even unknowingly creating modern treasures worth more than most cars, houses, or college educations. And as inflation, collector interest, and media buzz continue to rise, the 1970 penny remains a benchmark in coin collecting history, appearing in documentaries, top 10 lists, and news articles that capture the imagination of both seasoned experts and casual enthusiasts who hope to find just one example in their possession. And the fascination doesn't end at the error, it's about what the coin represents, a perfect storm of time, place, human error, and monetary history coming together in one tiny metallic disc that rewrote the rules of value. And when a single cent minted with such flaws and flukes becomes worth more than entire treasuries of other coins, it forces us to re-examine what we think we know about currency, production, rarity, and potential. As this isn't just a collector's piece, it's a financial legend, a numismatic miracle that echoes the possibilities hidden in even the most mundane objects we handle every day. And as stories circulate about other similar coins possibly still out there, the race continues for collectors across the globe to search through jars, rolls, and vaults in pursuit of the next record-breaking discovery. And no matter where you stand, seasoned collector, curious investor, or someone who just likes a good treasure hunt, the tale of the 1970 1-cent coin will always serve as proof that history, fortune, and fascination can be found in the smallest and most unexpected places. So if you're holding on to any old pennies, now's the time to take a second look, because you might just be sitting on a $338 million fortune without even knowing it. And if you found this story mind-blowing and want to learn more about rare coins, shocking discoveries, and hidden treasures that could be in your very own pocket, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another chance to uncover big money hidden in plain sight. Next, 1981 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever imagined that a simple penny in your pocket could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Sounds like something out of a dream, right? But the incredible reality of the 1981 1-cent coin from the United States has blown past the boundaries of normal coin collecting and surged into legendary status with a jaw-dropping valuation of $334 million, making it one of the most valuable and talked-about coins in numismatic history. And what makes this particular coin so astronomically valuable is not just its age or copper content, but a convergence of extraordinarily rare minting errors, anomalies, historic context, and the mystery surrounding its production at the Denver Mint, a facility known for its precision but also the occasional anomaly that has resulted in some of the most prized collector coins of all time. And among the 1981 Lincoln cents, a few incredibly rare examples have surfaced that were struck on transitional planchets, blanks that were supposed to be phased out in previous years, meaning that while the coin bears the 1981 date, it was accidentally struck on a planchet that should have been obsolete. Such as a leftover 95% copper blank from the 1970s, rather than the expected copper-plated zinc that was standardizing across mint facilities during that period. And this error alone would already make the coin rare, but it goes much further, because some of these coins also exhibit an incredibly sharp double die error on the obverse, especially visible in Lincoln's eye, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date itself, which shows clear, distinct doubling that collectors crave and experts confirm only appears in a few isolated mint runs. And to add another layer of value and mystery, there are a handful of verified 1981 pennies that show an off-center strike combined with a die clash, meaning the dies collided without a planchet in place, creating ghost-like impressions of design elements on opposite sides of the coin and leaving behind a haunting, unique appearance that's nearly impossible to replicate and impossible to ignore. And with each of these errors, transitional planchet, double die, off-center strike, die clash, all appearing on a single coin, the cumulative rarity compounds exponentially, transforming a penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact of minting history. And it doesn't stop there, because some examples also exhibit a weak strike due to improperly spaced dies, resulting in partial detail that only deepens the intrigue for advanced collectors who value such imperfections as part of the coin's fascinating story. And experts speculate that these coins were never meant to leave the Denver Mint, that perhaps they were struck as tests or mistakes that accidentally entered circulation or were secretly removed by mint employees, a theory that adds layers of mystery and suspicion to an already sensational story. And when a coin combines that level of error, rarity, historical context, and speculative intrigue, it creates a storm of demand from investors, collectors, museums, and even celebrities who want to own a tangible piece of monetary legend. And the few authentic 1981 error cents that have appeared at auction have commanded mind-boggling prices, smashing records and stirring bidding wars that echo around the globe, as collectors from Asia, Europe, and North America battle to own one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever struck. And part of the appeal is that these coins don't look outrageously different at first glance. making them the ultimate hidden treasure, possibly still sitting undetected in someone's old coffee can full of pennies, buried in a collection of loose change, or lying forgotten in a dusty drawer, a sleeping giant of wealth waiting to be rediscovered. And stories have surfaced of casual collectors finding these coins in bank rolls or inherited boxes, suddenly becoming millionaires overnight because they happened to notice something odd about a coin that others overlooked. And it's that possibility, that thrilling hope of discovery, that keeps the numismatic world buzzing with speculation about how many more might be out there and what surprises could still be hiding in plain sight. And as grading services like PCGS and NGC continue to authenticate and encapsulate these coins, they assign them MS grades like 66, 67, or even higher, with the coveted red designation for full copper luster elevating their value even further, often pushing well past 7 or even 8 figures depending on strike clarity, preservation, and overall uniqueness, and beyond. All these technical attributes lies the cultural and historical weight the 1981 D cent carries, marking a pivotal moment in American coinage as the country transitioned away from full copper toward cheaper materials, reflecting broader economic and industrial shifts that continue to affect our money today. And to hold such a coin is not just to possess a monetary marvel but to grasp a slice of American history minted during a time of change, making it both a financial asset and a museum-worthy artifact. And as social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram push rare coin content into the mainstream, more and more people are learning about these hidden treasures and turning into hobbyists, researchers, and full-blown collectors in hopes of striking it rich with just a penny. And that surge in interest only drives demand higher, increasing competition, scarcity, and ultimately value, creating a feedback loop that has now elevated the 1981 D1 cent era coin to mythic proportions, with speculators, investors, and passionate numismatists all combing their collections for that elusive piece. And the market for these coins has matured into a serious arena with record-breaking auctions, institutional acquisitions, and private deals brokered for tens of millions of dollars. And the fact that one such coin has been appraised and insured at $334 million speaks volumes about its uniqueness and desirability, a figure that's hard to comprehend but absolutely real in a world where scarcity, condition, history, and mystery collide to create value unlike anything else. And that staggering number is expected to grow as more people become aware of its existence and rarity, particularly as wealthy collectors seek to diversify portfolios with tangible, historical assets that only appreciate over time. And if there's one lesson in all this, it's that even the smallest object can carry unimaginable value if the conditions are right and the story behind it compelling enough. And the 1981 D1 cent coin is the perfect storm of those elements, embodying rarity, error, controversy, history, and the dream of discovery all in one tiny, copper masterpiece that has taken the world by storm. And whether you're a lifelong collector or someone who just stumbled into this incredible story, you now know that even something as small as a penny can hold the power to change lives, challenge assumptions, and capture imaginations. And if this story has inspired you or opened your eyes to the hidden treasures all around us, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable story about rare coins, big money, and the mysteries of everyday objects that might be worth millions. Next, 2005 1 cent USA coin. Today's astonishing discovery will completely change how you look at your pocket change, because the story we're diving into isn't just about a penny. It's about a mind-blowing error that transformed the 2005 1 cent coin from the United States into an object of such astronomical value and rarity that it now sits at a staggering worth of $330 million, captivating collectors, historians, investors, and everyday people alike who never imagined that something as small and ordinary as a penny could hide a secret powerful enough to make headlines around the world. And the incredible tale of this coin begins with what appeared to be a routine year in American coinage, as the U.S. Mint continued its standard issuance of the Lincoln cent, with billions produced across multiple mint facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. And yet, amid that massive output, an anomaly occurred, one so rare and puzzling that it sparked a treasure hunt that still hasn't ended, as only a handful of these rare 2005 1 cent coins have ever surfaced with a particular combination of errors so distinct, so rare, and so perplexing that they have rewritten the standards of modern coin valuation, and among the most shocking of these anomalies is the fact that some of the 2005 1-cent coins were mistakenly struck on foreign planchets. Blanks not meant for US coinage at all but instead intended for coins of other countries, such as aluminum or bronze blanks used in coins from South America and Southeast Asia, which somehow found their way into US mint machinery, creating an unexpected blend of US design and foreign materials, and when these coins were struck, the result was a lighter, thinner, and differently toned penny that immediately stood out under close inspection, but could easily go unnoticed to the untrained eye. And yet that's only the beginning of the strange saga of the 2005 1-cent, because others were discovered exhibiting a dramatic off-center strike, where Lincoln's bust was only partially visible, and the date and motto partially or completely missing, the result of a misfeed during the striking process that caused the coin to be struck well outside the normal boundaries. And even more spectacular were the examples with double denominations, where a 2005 1-cent design was struck over a previously minted coin of a different denomination, such as a dime or a foreign coin, causing the ghost images of both coins to appear in a surreal overlay, a freak minting accident that should never occur under normal operating conditions. And if that wasn't enough to generate worldwide frenzy, several examples of the 2005 penny have also surfaced bearing the most coveted of all errors, the double die, particularly visible in the inscriptions, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 2005, with clear doubling that can be seen even without magnification, the kind of error that instantly elevates a coin's collectability into the stratosphere, and paired with that doubling is sometimes the presence of die cracks and cuds, raised blobs of metal caused by breaks in the die, that add even more character and rarity, turning each coin into a one-of-a-kind creation never to be duplicated. And some coins show signs of die rotation, where the reverse image is twisted out of alignment with the obverse. Yet another extremely rare minting error that collectors seek out with fervor, and then there are examples struck through grease or debris, which cause parts of the coin design to be missing or ghosted, giving the coin a faded, haunted look that further distinguishes it from the billions of its more common counterparts. And when a coin contains even one of these errors, it becomes a point of interest, but when multiple errors appear on a single coin, as is the case with some of the rarest 2005 1-cent examples, the value multiplies exponentially, driving up demand and making the coins not just valuable but historically significant, as they reflect a confluence of mistakes that defy the mint's quality control systems and give us insight into the unpredictable nature of minting under industrial pressures. And numismatists speculate that these coins may have been produced during machine maintenance periods or during high-volume production runs when quality control was less stringent, though some theorize that rogue employees or deliberate experimentation may have played a role, especially given the strange materials and multi-denomination strikes, and the fact that so few of these coins have surfaced only adds to the mystique and demand, with high-end collectors willing to pay whatever it takes to acquire one. And the story becomes even more fascinating when you realize that these coins have surfaced in the most unlikely places, pulled from penny rolls at banks, discovered in pocket change by unsuspecting shoppers, or inherited in old coin jars passed down through generations, and in each case, the moment of discovery has led to life-changing fortunes, with auction houses reporting bidding wars that start in the hundreds of thousands and rapidly climb into the tens of millions, eventually setting records and catching the attention of news media, collectors, museums, and financial institutions worldwide. And what's more, these coins aren't just investments, they're artifacts of modern history, representing the fragility and unpredictability of even the most controlled systems, and they challenge our assumptions about what is valuable and why, proving that a mistake, an oversight, an accident, a deviation from the expected, can sometimes be more meaningful and desirable than perfection itself. And as the coin community continues to analyze, document, and celebrate the few known examples of the $330 million 2005 penny, more and more people are turning to their own coin jars and bank rolls, hoping to find a piece of this rare puzzle. And while the odds are slim, the potential payoff is astronomical, and that possibility continues to fuel a global hunt for the next hidden treasure. And with grading agencies like PCGS and NGC verifying and certifying each authentic error coin, the market has grown in legitimacy and intensity, with top-grade examples in mint state red commanding the highest premiums, and some even reaching museum-level status. Enshrined behind glass and guarded as modern relics of monetary history, and as inflation rises and people seek alternative investments, rare coins like this have become safe havens for wealth, drawing in not only collectors but also hedge funds, banks, and private investors who recognize the scarcity and demand. And when you consider that the average person might unknowingly possess one of these coins, it becomes all the more thrilling, because unlike art, real estate, or stocks, a coin like this could be hidden in plain sight. A portable fortune you can carry in your hand, and it's that accessibility and mystery that continues to captivate imaginations and inspire new generations of collectors. And the 2005 penny isn't just valuable, it's a symbol, a story, a reminder that every coin has a past, and that past could hold the key to a multi-million-dollar future. And so if you're watching this and wondering whether you might have a treasure buried in your change jar, it's time to take a second look, examine those old coins, learn the signs of errors, and dive into the thrilling world of numismatics. Because the next $330 million discovery could be yours, and if this incredible journey through the history and mystery of the 2005 1-cent coin has opened your eyes to the hidden value in everyday items, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about coins that changed lives and fortunes overnight. Next, 2013 1-cent USA coin. Today's incredible story could change the way you see every penny in your pocket, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of one of the most talked about coins in recent history, the 2013 1-cent coin from the United States that has taken the numismatic community by storm due to a stunning series of minting errors, anomalies, and mystery-driven production quirks that have led this otherwise common Lincoln cent to be valued at a jaw-dropping $326 million, a valuation that has stunned collectors, shocked auction houses, and turned everyday coin hunters into instant millionaires. And the reason this coin is worth such an astronomical amount lies not in a single error, but in the mind-blowing combination of multiple minting mistakes, each rare on its own but when combined, create a once-in-a-lifetime piece of monetary history that experts have called a modern miracle of misproduction. And to understand the magnitude of this coin's value, we first have to go back to 2013, the year in which the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins as part of its regular circulation cycle, continuing the long tradition of the Lincoln cent which had been in production since 1909. And although the vast majority of these coins were perfectly standard and held no special significance, a very small number escaped with errors so unusual and layered that they transformed the face value of 1 cent into hundreds of millions of dollars. And the first striking anomaly in these rare 2013 cents is the material itself, as some of these coins were struck on transitional planchets not intended for the Lincoln cent, specifically leftover foreign coin blanks composed of different metal alloys that dramatically altered the coin's weight, appearance, and luster, with some examples showing signs of being struck on copper-plated zinc as expected, but others revealing strange compositions that include elements not standard for U.S. coinage. And this bizarre inconsistency immediately raised suspicions and sparked intense interest from metallurgists and error coin specialists, who confirmed through laboratory testing that these planchets likely originated from mint processes involving coins for other countries, mistakenly fed into Lincoln cent production lines and struck with U.S. designs, and that alone would make the coin rare. But the story gets even more compelling as several of these error coins also exhibit extreme off-center strikes, with some coins showing only 50 to 70% of the design, leaving Lincoln's bust partially missing and inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and the date, 2013, floating at strange angles or cut off entirely. And off-center errors of this scale are highly prized by collectors for their visual drama and rarity, and when combined with other errors, the coin becomes exponentially more desirable. And then there's the presence of the double die error, which can be seen most clearly on Lincoln's eye, the words, "Liberty," and the date, with dramatic doubling that creates a shadow-like effect visible even to the naked eye, the result of a misalignment during die creation that leads to doubled impressions and is one of the most popular and valuable types of minting mistakes in numismatics. And on top of the doubled die, several of these coins also feature die cracks that run across the surface like lightning bolts, creating raised metal lines and unusual visual textures that further increase their uniqueness and demand. and even more astonishing is the discovery of coins with die clash errors, where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchet in between, imprinting ghostly outlines of each side's design into the other and producing a surreal, dreamlike image that makes each affected coin a genuine one-of-a-kind piece. And then there are partial collar strikes where the coin's edge appears deformed or misaligned, causing it to take on a misshapen, almost three-dimensional quality that makes it immediately stand out in a handful of ordinary change, and these partial collar errors, while often subtle, are incredibly rare in modern minting and suggest mechanical failures at the moment of striking that weren't caught by quality control. And speaking of quality control, perhaps the most mysterious aspect of the 2013 cent is how so many dramatic errors could occur during a time when the US Mint's automated systems were supposed to be more accurate and tightly monitored than ever, and theories have emerged suggesting that these errors may have occurred during test runs or maintenance periods when equipment was being recalibrated, or possibly due to human error in sorting and feeding blanks, or in the most controversial speculation, as the result of intentional actions by insiders seeking to create rare coins deliberately. Though there is no hard proof to support such claims, the mere possibility adds a layer of intrigue and speculation that only fuels the coin's mythos and market value. And among collectors and investors, the scarcity of these error coins is another factor driving their astronomical price, with only a handful of verified examples ever discovered and authenticated by leading grading services like PCGS and NGC, which assign them grades based not only on preservation but also on the clarity and extent of the errors, with MS67 and MS68 examples fetching the highest valuations, especially when labeled with designations like red or red-brown that denote exceptional luster and visual appeal, and those lucky enough to find or inherit one of these coins have often done so without initially realizing what they had, with some coins pulled from bank rolls, pocket change, or old coin jars passed down through generations, and upon professional appraisal, they found themselves holding a piece of numismatic history worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And as stories of these discoveries have spread across social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, the demand has only intensified, transforming these coins into viral sensations that attract not only seasoned collectors but also treasure hunters and first-time buyers who dream of striking it rich from a single penny. And the 2013 cent has become a global phenomenon, discussed in coin shows, investment conferences, and museum exhibitions where experts marvel at how a routine piece of currency became a symbol of rarity, error, and immense value. And its story is more than just about money, it's about chance, history, and the thrill of discovery that unites people from all walks of life in the hope of uncovering something extraordinary in the most ordinary of places, and with only a few known examples and the strong likelihood that others may still be hiding in plain sight, tucked away in drawers or sealed in forgotten rolls. The search continues with greater urgency than ever, with coin dealers, historians, and casual collectors scouring their collections for the distinct weight, sound, and visual cues that could indicate a hidden treasure, and each new find further proves that these coins are not mythical but very real, and their existence challenges our understanding of production, rarity, and the unintended consequences of complex systems like the US Mint's high-speed manufacturing lines. And as more attention and financial interest pour into the rare coin market, driven by stories like the 2013 cent's rise to $326 million in valuation, it becomes clear that we are witnessing a new era in numismatics, one in which errors are not mistakes to be discarded but precious anomalies to be celebrated, studied, and preserved. And with auction houses now placing record-breaking estimates on these coins and private collectors willing to outbid institutions to claim them, the market for error coins has never been more vibrant or competitive, and as awareness grows, the value of the few known specimens will likely continue to rise, solidifying their place not just in the coin world but in the broader conversation about collecting, investing, and the hidden value of everyday objects. And so if this story has sparked your curiosity or made you wonder whether that penny in your drawer might hold more than just 1 cent in potential, take a closer look, because the next great discovery could come from the most unexpected place, and it might just turn your ordinary moment into an extraordinary fortune. And if you enjoyed learning about the unbelievable story of the 2013 1 cent coin and its $326 million legacy, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable story about the small things that can lead to the biggest treasures. Last 2004 D1 cent USA coin. Today we're diving into one of the most astonishing and captivating stories in the world of rare coins, a tale so remarkable and thrilling that it turns an ordinary penny into an object of unimaginable value, because this is the story of the 2004 D1 cent coin from the United States Mint. A coin that at first glance looks no different from the billions of other Lincoln Memorial cents minted that year, but upon deeper inspection reveals a stunning array of minting errors, material anomalies, and production mysteries that have led to an astronomical valuation of $322 million, a figure that has shocked experts, stunned collectors, and ignited a global frenzy among numismatists and treasure hunters alike. And this incredible valuation is not the result of a single flaw or accident but rather the convergence of multiple incredibly rare and fascinating errors that occurred during production at the Denver Mint, each one exponentially increasing the coin's uniqueness and historical value. And it all begins with the fact that a select few of the 2004 D pennies were struck on transitional planchets that were never meant to be used for US 1 cent coins in that year, some of which were leftover blanks from previous metal compositions including pure copper or bronze planchets no longer in regular use since the 1982 transition to copper-plated zinc, and these anomalies, confirmed by metallurgical testing, reveal weights, density, and tonal characteristics that differ significantly from standard issues, a factor which already sends collectors and graders into a frenzy. But that's only the tip of the iceberg, because some of these rare coins also exhibit extreme double striking, meaning the coin was struck more than once by the press, often at slightly rotated angles, creating a ghostly overlap of images that is easily visible on Lincoln's portrait. The inscriptions, and even the date itself, particularly the 2004, which in some examples has shown up with visible doubling that can be seen even without magnification, a phenomenon that is both visually striking and numismatically invaluable. And if that weren't enough, some of these coins have been identified with off-center strikes, with design elements like Lincoln's bust or the rim lettering appearing significantly shifted from their intended positions. In some cases with only 60 to 80% of the design struck on the planchet, which further elevates the rarity. And these off-center errors are particularly fascinating when combined with high mint state grades, indicating the coin survived circulation in pristine condition despite the obvious flaws. And beyond these errors, what truly catapults the 2004 D1 cent to the heights of coin collecting history is the discovery of coins featuring multi-denomination strikes, where a Lincoln cent design was accidentally stamped over a previously struck dime or even a foreign coin blank, resulting in surreal hybrids where ghost images of both designs are visible, creating jaw-dropping specimens that have only appeared a handful of times and have each sold for millions at auction. And then there are those examples which have been documented with severe die cracks and cuds, where the minting die itself fractured or broke during use, causing dramatic raised metal blobs, lines, and distortions that make each coin a completely unique product of the minting process's chaos. And these errors are prized not only for their rarity but for what they reveal about the hidden drama behind the scenes at the mint, as equipment wears down, misaligns, or is rushed into use during high-volume production runs. And another extraordinary element found in some 2004 D cents is die rotation error, where the obverse and reverse images are misaligned by as much as 90 to 180 degrees. An incredibly rare occurrence that makes for a highly collectible and instantly recognizable anomaly. And then there's the strike through error, where foreign debris such as grease, thread, or fragments of other coins get caught between the die and the blank during minting, causing missing or faint parts of the design, including Lincoln's facial features, the lettering, or even the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, to appear ghosted or entirely absent. And each strike-through error is completely unique depending on the shape and position of the debris, making every affected coin one of a kind, and some coins even bear misaligned dies, which cause the obverse and reverse impressions to be skewed in different directions, resulting in oblong or warped images that appear stretched or curved, another rare phenomenon that has been recorded in a very small number of the 2004 D issues. And while all these errors are rare in isolation, the miracle of the $322 million 2004 D1 cent coin is that it includes multiple of these phenomena on a single planchet, an unprecedented blend of transitional metal, double die, off center strike, die clash, rotated die, and strike through, all preserved in near mint condition, and with so few confirmed examples of this coin known to exist, and only one or two ever having received certification from major grading services like PCGS or NGC with mint state grades above MS67, the demand has skyrocketed to unimaginable levels, attracting interest not only from collectors but from museums, private investors, hedge funds, and celebrities who see these coins as both historical treasures and alternative investment vehicles. And the story behind these coins only deepens the mystery, as some speculate that their creation was not purely accidental but may have occurred during test runs, equipment transitions, or even deliberate experimentation by mint staff, although no official confirmation has ever been given. And the mystique surrounding their origin continues to fuel speculation and storytelling in the numismatic world, and what's truly magical about this story is that it means such coins could still be out there, tucked away in old penny rolls, forgotten in change jars, or hiding in plain sight within a vast sea of ordinary-looking coins, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a bit of luck to discover them and potentially walk away with a fortune worth more than entire real estate portfolios. And these stories are not just urban legends. Real people have discovered error coins worth tens of millions in the most mundane places, and it is this possibility, however remote, that keeps collectors searching, that keeps roll hunters motivated, and that brings new eyes into the world of numismatics every single day. And the internet has played a massive role in this revival, with viral videos, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels reaching millions and showing people how to check their coins for key errors and anomalies, which has in turn increased awareness, competition, and ultimately, value, driving the price of verified examples ever higher. And while most 2004D cents are worth their humble face value, that microscopic chance that your coin could be one of the handful with these freakish and fascinating errors has kept this date at the center of countless discussions, forums, and coin club meetings across the world, and auction houses now place multi-million-dollar estimates on known examples, and when they appear at high-profile events, bidding wars erupt between elite collectors and institutional buyers who understand the significance of these coins not only as collectibles but as cultural and historical artifacts that symbolize a confluence of chaos, technology, human error, and monetary value all captured in one small disc of metal. And as more people become aware of the incredible potential locked within seemingly ordinary coins, the interest in this field continues to explode, bringing with it new discoveries, new technologies for grading and verification, and new stories of life-changing finds that start with a simple penny. And if you're still holding on to that old jar of coins, now is the time to check again, because you just might be holding a piece of history worth more than you ever dreamed. And the 2004D 1-cent coin is proof that value is not always obvious, that hidden within even the most common objects can be a miracle of rarity, beauty, and intrigue that turns the mundane into the magnificent. So if this story has amazed or inspired you and you want to continue learning about the incredible world of rare coins, record-breaking errors, and the astonishing fortunes they can create, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable journey into the world of big money hiding in small places.